In this video, we're going to take a look at 4 things that are easier in Python than in Java. 4 things that are easier in Java than in Python, and 1 thing that's basically the same. If you know Java and you're considering learning Python, I'm going to give you a clear, honest comparison. I've long been an advocate of learning a compiled language together with an interpreted language that you can use for scripting and automation and data visualization. That way you have the best of both worlds and you can use the right language for the right task. With that in mind, here's how Python and Java compare in practice. Let's start with 4 things that I think work better in Python than in Java, but keep in mind that what's better or worse often depends on the task at hand. Number 1. In Python there's no compilation phase and no boilerplate code, at least not built into the language. Let's create a simple Java program in IntelliJ IDEA Community Edition. I create a new project, accept the defaults, right-click the source folder to make a package, then create a class inside that package. I generate a main method, type sout to get a print statement, add some text, and finally run it. The compiler produces a class file, the JVM runs it, and everything works. But that's a lot of ceremony if all I want is a tiny script to rename files or automate something simple. Java gives you structure by default, which is great for large systems, but heavy for quick tasks. Now let's do the same thing in Python. In VS Code, I create a new file, give it a .py extension, type a print statement, and that's the entire program. To run it, I open a terminal and type Python and the script name .py. That's it. No project, no package, no class, no main method, no compilation. Yes, in Python you might also set up a virtual environment, but that's 2 quick commands, and it still feels lighter than creating a full Java project. This lack of boilerplate is one of the reasons Python is so well suited to small, quick tasks, while Java shines when you're building something bigger and more structured. Number 2. Python's main data containers are built right into the language, and that makes them feel very quick and natural to use. Let's create a map of lists in Java. I start with a map.of, and inside that I use list.of to create the lists. This works, but these collections are immutable. If I want to modify them later, I need an extra step to wrap them in something mutable. Java's collections are powerful and type safe, but they come with more ceremony. Now the same thing in Python. I create a dictionary with curly brackets, lists with square brackets, and everything is mutable by default. It's just punctuation, no generics, no constructors, no helper methods. This is one of the reasons Python feels so good for quick, small scripts. You can express data structures directly without scaffolding. And again, this is why I've always said that pairing a scripting language with a compiled language gives you the best of both worlds. Number 3. Python's standard library is incredibly user-friendly. A lot of everyday tasks that would normally require extra libraries in Java are built right into Python, and they're designed to be simple and readable. For example, here's a tiny JSON file. It has a username, a few settings, and a list of projects. In Python, reading this file is just 2 lines. And now I can access anything I want, like the username, for example. No object mappers, no annotations, no type definitions. It just works. Python's built-in structures already mirror JSON format, so JSON files are almost valid Python code already. Another example, walking a directory. In Python I can write a couple of lines, and when I run it, it spits out a list of files in the current directory. That's the entire script. No builders, no checked exceptions, no streams, just a clean, modern API. And here's an interesting one. Starting a tiny web server. If I want to serve the current folder over HTTP, I can literally type a single command. If I go to localhost 8000 in a browser, I get a directory listing. If I drop a home.html file into the folder, I'm serving a basic web page. This is built into Python. No dependencies, no configuration. I'm simply running the server module from the HTTP package. It's part of Python's standard library. These are the kinds of small practical things that makes Python incredibly quick to script with. They're built in, they're readable, and they're ready to use at the moment you install Python. Number 4. Functions are first-class citizens in Python. In Python, everything is an object, even functions and types. That has trade-offs. Unlike Java, Python has no primitives. So if you're working with huge lists of numbers, you'll probably want a specialized package like NumPy. But the upside is that functions behave just like any other value, and that gives you a lot of flexibility. Here I'm creating 2 functions and storing them in a list, exactly the same way I'd store strings or numbers. I can iterate through the list and call each function if I want to. You can do something roughly equivalent in Java, but you'd need a bit more structure. For example, you could use the runnable interface with a couple of lambda expressions. In Python, this behavior is built into the language from the ground up. Okay, that's 4 things that you could say are easier in Python. Now let's take a look at 4 examples where Java makes things easier, especially if you're already a Java programmer. Number 1. Indentation is not optional in Python. In Java, we use curly brackets to define the structure of the program, and after that we're free to format it however we like. In Python, indentation is the structure of the program. If you come from Java or C-style languages, this can take a little getting used to, because in this respect, Java follows a very common standard, while Python is off on its own among mainstream languages. Here, I only have to add or remove a single space, and suddenly the program won't run. The indentation level defines the code block, and Python enforces that strictly. Maybe I'm getting old, but this is probably the number 1 thing that initially deterred me from using Python. Now I'm used to it and I like it, but it did take some getting used to. Number 2. Python is slower for CPU-heavy tasks. Here's a Java program that prints the 45th Fibonacci number. I expected this to be a nice CPU-heavy task, but it ran so fast I couldn't even see a delay. Then I tried the same thing in Python, also instant. Even the 500th Fibonacci number was instant in both languages. Python gets the right answer because its integers grow automatically. Java only gets the right answer if you use big integer instead of int, because Java's built-in integers have fixed sizes and will overflow. So Fibonacci isn't actually a good performance test. It's only a few hundred additions. We need something heavier. Let's try a loop with 200 million iterations. Now we finally see the difference. The Python script takes about 6 seconds. The Java version is effectively instant. That's because Python has to interpret every single code iteration, while Java's just-in-time compiler turns that loop into optimized native code that runs directly on the CPU. In practice, speed may or may not matter. Even neural networks are often configured in Python, but that's because Python calls highly optimized C libraries under the hood. For raw CPU-bound loops, though, Java is dramatically faster. Number 3. Dynamic typing can feel too loose. Python's variables don't have types. Only values have types. Here's a Python example. Somewhere, deep in a larger program, I accidentally change x from a string to an integer. Later, I try to uppercase the string that I think x still refers to. In Python, this runs until it hits that last line, and then it crashes at runtime. In Java, this would have been caught at compile time, because Java's type system ensures that x must always be a string. Dynamic typing can feel great when you're moving fast or writing small scripts, but in larger programs, that same flexibility can turn what would have been compile time errors in Java into runtime bugs in Python. Number 4. Python has no built-in executable format. Python just isn't designed for distributing programs to non-technical users. It's great if you're sending a simple script to a colleague, but if you want to ship a polished desktop app, Python makes you put in more work. It is possible to distribute Python programs. Tools like PyInstaller, Nwitka, not sure how to say that, and Briefcase exist, but it's harder and far less common. Java programs, on the other hand, have always been easier to distribute. Java compiles to portable class files or jar files, and the JVM provides a consistent runtime environment across platforms. Even though most home computers today don't come with a JVM pre-installed, Java's packaging system is still much more predictable than Python's. Java developers have a standard bytecode format, a stable runtime, predictable packaging tools, Maven and Gradle. No need to bundle an interpreter with every app. Python developers often have to bundle the entire interpreter, all dependencies, and native libraries, which can balloon even a tiny app into a 50 to 150 megabyte download. Finally, let's talk about what's similar between Java and Python. At their core, the two languages share a lot of DNA. They both have loops, conditions, functions, classes, inheritance, exceptions, and a large standard library. Both handle memory management for you, and most of the time the concepts you already know in Java map cleanly onto Python. This is a big part of why Python feels so natural to many Java developers. You get the ability to dash off a quick script without Java's ceremony, while still working with familiar ideas, just expressed with a different syntax and a different rhythm. And once you step into Python's ecosystem, you also get access to its data visualization and machine learning tools, areas where Python is far ahead of Java. If you want to go deeper, I've put together a 2-course Python bundle. It includes a full beginner's course if you want the fundamentals, and another course built specifically for Java developers and people who already know some programming. Together they cover Python basics, data visualization, machine learning, and lots of hands-on projects you can build right away. You'll find the link in the description. The concepts you already know in Java will carry you a long way in Python. Use them, build with them, and keep going. Until next time, happy coding.